I need all my stay-at-home moms to put the guilt down for like 3 seconds, because these three things are quite stealing your sanity. And yes, I did all of them today. So if you're a stay-at-home mom who truly loves their kids, but also you're like one tantrum away from losing your mind, then this video is for you. Number one is to stop trying to be the perfect mom. I know we think that we need to know everything in order to pour into our children. All they really need is true love. They need your love and your attention. So please stop waking up trying to be that perfect Pinterest mom, that perfect TikTok mom, that perfect YouTube mom.
Has everything laid out perfectly and does everything on time and just has everything so perfect with the most expensive snacks.
And their house is always organized, because the truth of it is people only show you the highlights of their life, right? That house doesn't always look like that, right? And that mom isn't always in that state of mind, because you have to believe and know that she definitely has time to herself. Because at the end of the day, like, your kids don't need a perfect mom. They need a mom that's sane, okay? They need a mom that is pouring so much into herself that she has the time and the energy to pour into them. And that can't help it. That cannot happen if you're trying to be perfect. Because at the end of the day, you also have to realize that you were yourself and are yourself before you became a mother. And to just put on that title or put on that hat of mother all the time, 24/7, that's going to drive you crazy. Now, I know for me, as being a stay-at-home mom, that I also homeschool my kids. And when I tell you that doesn't look the same every day, it just doesn't. Because some days I wake up and I am excited and I'm ready and I'm happy to teach them. And other days I just really want to sit down and put a blanket on and get some popcorn and watch a movie, because I just want to relax. I don't feel like teaching. So in those days, I'm not going to beat myself up for not teaching them according to like the full out lesson plan all the way down to the very details, right? I'm going to make it something easier, right? I might put on some music for them to dance to, or I might make the lesson really short that day just to give me a little bit more time to relax. But I'm not going to beat myself up about trying to be the perfect mom while I can still get my time in to relax with them in the morning, as well as teach them with a quick lesson. And so that brings me into my next thing is stop feeling bad for wanting time to yourself. So let me say this real loud for the mommies in the back. It is okay to take a break. It does not mean that you hate your kids. It does not mean that you don't want your kids or that you don't love them. Sometimes you don't feel like playing Lego. Sometimes you don't feel like combing a baby doll's hair. Sometimes you don't feel like getting up to dance. Sometimes you don't feel like rolling that race car on the ground. And that's okay. It doesn't make you a bad mom. It just means that you're human. It just means that you desire to rest and you desire to do some of the things that you enjoy doing as well. Because you can absolutely love your children and give them everything that they need while also having time to yourself, because you want a moment where you don't feel like being touched or having your name called. That is okay. And so that brings me into my last thing, is that stop thinking that you have to do everything by yourself. You don't. Now, as I mentioned previously, like, you can outsource things, right? And it doesn't have to be expensive. Not everyone has the resources to get a nanny or a maid, and that's okay. I don't have a nanny and I don't have a maid, but I do have a village that I like to pay for when my family can't help, or even if it is my family. If we need to go on date night, I'm going to call my sister up real quick. I'm going to pay her, and there's nothing wrong with that. Outsourcing. And it doesn't have to always be an expensive thing, right? With laundry, you can outsource that. You can go to your local cleaner and they will wash, dry, and fold, and even put those clothes on hangers for you. Or there's also a service called Poplin, and they charge you by the weight of your clothes, right? And depending on the size of your family, this can be very affordable. Another thing, if you have family, like a little sister like me, you can pay them to watch your children, right? Let's say it's date night, or you just simply want to go out and have a moment to yourself. There's nothing wrong with outsourcing that to get that time to yourself, because how can you be, again, anything to those kids if you are overstimulated all the time and you are feeling just like you're stuck in a box because you can't get out and do anything on your own like you used to? So I'm going to leave you with a little bit of homework, right? Because I want us to actually implement the things that we are learning and actually actively work towards being a better mom and a better you to yourself. I want you to think about just 3 things, right? Whether it's ordering groceries, whether it's reaching out to the laundry service, whether it's finding an hourly sitter. Find 3 things that you can outsource and something that you can outsource that fits within your budget. I also want you to pick one thing, whether that's reading a book, whether that's tapping into one of your favorite podcasts, whether that's going to get a massage. I want you to pick one thing that you no longer do, or you've forgotten about, or you haven't done in a while, and start doing it. And I want you to let me know in the comment section, what thing did you pick and how is it going for you? So my girls, if you are a stay-at-home mom that's trying to pour from an empty cup, just know that that's not good for you, and that's not good for your kids either. You don't have to be the perfect mom. You just have to be the mom that shows up for them and who truly loves them. And honestly, that is enough. And just think about how you want your children to remember you. Do you want them to remember the mommy that was always cooking and always cleaning and always exhausted and always cranky? Or do you want them to remember the mommy who had energy, who was lively, who was fun, who chased her own dreams and her own passions, who was interesting, right? Those things cannot be if you're not pouring into yourself. So let's redefine what motherhood looks like to you, and let's make it happen. Remember that you don't have to be the strong black woman, but you can be the resilient one. You do not have to carry the world on your shoulders, but still carry yourself with love, kindness, compassion, and care. You do not have to lose yourself in motherhood and wifehood, but yet learn how to balance all of it, to be able to enjoy the person that you are becoming. And when you're uncomfortable, count it all as joy, to know that God is working patience in you within this. And remember, the only way that it won't happen is if you give up and stop trying.